Ooh, late stream start and recording as we start streaming. Now, much later than I usually would, not particularly intentionally. I was just ended up being a bit busy for most of this early afternoon. So here we are, I'm starting about 1 hour 40 later than I usually would, and we'll have a bit of a shorter stream today. So we won't be going for the full 3 hours, I don't think. I'll probably go up to 6. So that gives us what, 2 hours 20 or something. So yeah, apologies for anyone who's been waiting for this stream, but actually it's probably its timing, I'd assume, is actually more convenient because, as I say, most of the viewers, I believe, are American, which means that normally when I stream it's actually quite early. But there you go. But as I've just typed in the Discord, we're actually going to start off with drawing today because I've been thinking about the drawing and I was like, I don't think this is going to take the full hour. And I don't want to like stream for a weird amount of 1 hour 20 and be like, I finished the thumbnail art early or something. What am I going to do for the next like 20 minutes? I think it makes more sense to me to finish off this thumbnail art first, and then we'll get on to playing the Pedestrian afterwards. Because I don't think it will take that long to finish this one off. I might be wrong, to be honest, but like most of it will just be shading D's. But no, hold on, no, let me remove the splash screen so you can actually see what I'm looking at. If you weren't here the past couple streams, you might not see that this is what we're working with. Why does it look so much darker on my display tablet than on the Twitch preview? I don't know. But I don't think this is going to take us that long to actually shade, because the only things that really need shading is D, and then like some of the background elements will have very basic shading on. But everything else is just sort of like, we can just sort of send it, in my opinion. Because, I mean, I'll be honest, like if this was a final thumbnail art, I think it would actually already look fine. But we're going to add a bit of depth to it and things, so that's why I want to do it now, because I'm not sure how long it will take. But I don't think it will take the full hour. I might be wrong. We'll sort of see how it goes. But for now, let's just add my usual shadows and dark shadows layers. Shadow and then dark shadow layers. I genuinely don't think we're going to go too crazy with shadows on this one because it's already quite dark. And I don't want to like drown everything out, but we'll sort of see. Let's go with a sort of orangey. Yeah, I think that's a good colour for the shadows. And I will do my sort of usual wispy style of shading. It's this one, isn't it? I usually use. The one where I'm like, I want brushstrokes to be very visible. But yeah, I don't expect many people to be catching the stream necessarily now. It's a bit of a weird timing, to be honest, and most people probably thought it wasn't on, but here I am nonetheless. But yeah, I mean, the main reason I was busy was because I was doing a bit of shopping at a shopping place most people probably know, especially if you're American, because I believe it is an American chain. But Costco, fantastic if you need some bulk purchases here and there. But ended up having lunch in Costco, and what kind of, like, I knew Costco is cheap. Everyone knows Costco is cheap for when you buy in bulk and stuff, but I didn't realize quite how cheap some of the lunch was. Like, normally, I at least associate Costco with, like, pizza, that sort of thing. And I know they have a hot dog, but I never actually, like, looked at the price. The price of a hot dog is so cheap. It's £1.50. That's insanely cheap. It's a mega hot dog as well. It's like a 12-inch hot dog or something. Which is insanely cheap, in my mind, for a hot dog. Not that hot dogs are particularly expensive, I think, in the first place, but still, it's just sort of like a whoa. And not only that, you might be like, okay, that's like pretty good, but it's not that amazing. But you get a free bottomless drink when you order it. It's insane. Like some places, that's how much a bottomless drink costs, about £1.50. I'm going to turn off the dappled light for a bit because it's actually quite hard to see everything. I can't actually see what I'm shading in and what I'm not shading in, so... but there's only going to be one source of light in this artwork, and it's going to be coming from above. So nothing particularly crazy here, methinks. Just get some nice sort of soft shapes going away. Yeah, like £1.50 for a hot dog and drinks. That's actually insanity. And I was thinking about it because I know I read somewhere about like Costco loses money, as does IKEA, I think, on the like Costco loses money on the things like their rotisserie chickens. Just like IKEA, I think, loses money on the Swedish meatballs that they provide, which I've never had because it's been a very long time since I've even been to IKEA, to be honest. But that looks pretty good. But like they still keep doing it, obviously, you know. Why would a big business continue to do something unless there was something to be gained from it? But like I assume it's just because like it's such good advertising. Like people go there to actually eat food, or isn't it something like if food is provided at an establishment, people are more likely to spend time there or something, and thus buy more things? Because I don't work in the supermarket industry, or the commercial industry, I suppose I should say, retail industry. That's a better word. But I do have passings with it here and there. I'd imagine like that sort of retention is probably one of the best sort of, I don't know why I'm turning this into such like a business talk, like one of the best KPIs or something for, or like I should say one of the best metrics to decide if someone is going to spend how much money there. So really, you know, they've got us hook, line and sinker. I don't mean that in a bad way, to be honest. It was a pretty decent hot dog, all things considered. Like, it's the sort of hot dog you eat it and I'm like, oh yeah, I would 100%, if I got this from like a movie theatre or something, I would not be disappointed. If I was like went to a gourmet hot dog stand and I got this, and I'd be like, okay, this is a bit disappointing. But otherwise, I was just like, it's pretty like fine, all things considered. And that's really all you need. You just need it to be good enough, right? I don't know. If I ran my own DeerDarling department store, chain, not restaurant, chain supermarket / department store / provider, what food would I have as like the signature dish? That's a really good question, myself. That's a really good question, comma, from myself, not, I'm not the dish. As much of a snack as I am. I'm joking. I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't know. That's it's an intriguing question because I was gonna be like, what food is like highly associated with me? Like, would my friends say that sort of thing? Amusingly, my friends say that red velvet cake is very associated with me, which is actually crazy because if you've watched any of my Animal Crossing videos, you would probably know I don't have a sweet tooth. Not really. It's just one time. Like the story behind it is one of my friends. She basically. I used to hold like these sort of like parties at my house. Mostly secondary school ones, during high school, invite friends round, and then people would like bring their snacks and drinks, etc., and we'd have a good time. But one of my friends, for whatever reason, bought a cake one time, and then I don't think I had any of the cake because she was like, well, no, not in a way like she baked a cake or anything. She just like went to like the sort of shop beforehand and was like, oh, I'm gonna buy something. She saw a cake and then she just bought a cake, I guess. He was like, wow, I can't believe you didn't eat any of a cake, in a jokey way. And I was just like, oh yeah, I don't really have much of a sweet tooth. In fact, the only cake I particularly like is like red velvet cake. And then ever since that time, she's basically only bought red velvet cake whenever I hosted those things. And I have a slice, you know, and that sort of thing. Because when I wanted to put 10, it's a funny joke. Oh, I should get rid of the text. Why do I still have a text on the screen? But really, I promise you, I don't have much of a sweet tooth. Like, do not buy me sweets as a treat. I will not find it much of a treat, but I will eat it out of politeness, probably. Or share it with friends or something. If anything, I have like a savoury or salty tooth. Because I much prefer savoury foods to sweet foods. I still eat some sweet foods here and there, but they're not like my go-to, is probably the better way to put it. Which is fine, you know, I'm not saying like I'm missing out or anything. I'm not saying this is necessarily a bad thing. Everyone's got different tastes after all, but it's just amusing that I've now become associated with red velvet cake because it's not so much that I eat like red velvet cake like at all. The only times I really eat it will be on my birthday, but it's just more so that because it's one of the only things I like and because of that joke. That's how it goes. I do find myself being more like, I'm not sure if open's the right word, but being more alright with sweet foods as I get older, which is probably the inverse, I think. I still like wouldn't choose to have them a lot of the time, but Like, you know, I'm fine with ice cream and that sort of thing. I just wouldn't choose to eat it most of the time. But, like, I wouldn't turn down a Magnum on a hot day or anything like that. It's not to the extent where I'm just like, oh, I'm repulsed by sweet food. I don't think it ever was. It's just, you know, it's just I would almost always choose something else. Anyway, I would not serve red velvet cake at my place. It'd probably be something very strange and boring. Just like chips or something, but no, I don't know. It's got to be, it needs to be something unique, right? Something which you wouldn't already have an association with a different place. I'm trying to think of a food I actually quite like, which I rarely see in like street food areas or something. Could be like a Chinese food or something. That could be interesting. You know, the first thing that came to mind as like a slightly unusual food to provide, but I quite like turnip cake. I really like turnip cake. That's genuinely one of my favorite Chinese dishes. If you don't know what it is, it's not a literal cake, like a sweet cake. It's just called a turnip cake because it has like a sort of cake-like properties, but it's not really a cake. Is that all done? I think the shading here is a bit iffy. But yeah, turnip cake is actually super delicious. So I think I'll do that. I'll just have like turnip cake and like some other random Chinese food, and people would just be like, "What?" But it'd be delicious, and then people would no longer be like, "What?" Probably. Maybe my shadow should be a bit darker. I'm gonna be honest. It's a bit too light, if anything. You almost can't tell there are shadows. Maybe make them a bit more orange. Yeah, that looks good. Let us do... I didn't make a body folder for some reason. We'll do the light shadows of a body next as well. Why not? Oh, I blocked the pixels. But yeah. Most of her face will probably be lit up, is my guess. At least this part will. Sort of cheeks. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm trying to think what else I would do. I'm trying to think if it's like a Chinese sweet I would really like or something. Because you can't just have... Well, I guess you could just have turnip cake, but... Turnip cake's probably a bit rich as well to have as a... just as a random snack, but you know, I might say the same thing about meatballs, to be honest. I just like turnip cake, to be honest. His face looks actually a lot better with the shading. It's a lot easier to pass, I suppose, what's going on. Okay. Let's get the arm shadows on here. Make sure all the things are properly shaded away. I wanna shade away anywhere up this place. Yeah, what else was I gonna say? I'm not sure. Turnip cake. I mean, maybe I would do red velvet cake just for the joke, to be honest, but I had this really random thought. I can't remember what it was from before, but like, imagine you're like a voice actor or an actor in general, let's just say, and you play a character who's really like strongly associated with a food. You know, like Popeye and spinach, or like here's another good example. Like, I don't know why this is the next example I thought of. It's a media property I've not watched, but like Attack on Titan, Sasha girl who eats like potatoes or something. Like, I bet your fans would buy you that food so often, right? They'd just be like, oh, you know, oh, you're the person, you're potato girl, right? I bought you a potato as a joke, you know, ha ha ha. But the thing with these sort of things, like the same way where people make jokes out of the checkout counter to the cashier, is that they don't have a conscious awareness that they are like number 5,000 person who already done this. The same old rigmarole. No comedy is original anymore. So much so that, like, at least with a cashier thing, you know, it's sort of like a unwritten language at this point, rather than something with actual substance, which you might say is a good or bad thing, depending, I suppose, on how you look at it. I'm not gonna necessarily judge either way. But like, it must be really tiring if you don't actually like that food, right? You know, there's probably like some good foods to be associated with, some bad foods to be associated with. I don't know why I changed the shading to be like this, but whatever. I guess we're doing fully rendered fur shading now, despite the fact I did not give the shape of the fur for it, but who cares? Doesn't matter. So I'm trying to think, like, if I was like playing, like, if I was playing D and I was like, oh, you know, D's favorite thing is like red velvet cake, and then people just like bought me red velvet cake all the time, I'd just be like, oh, damn, why did I make it red velvet cake, you know? What am I going to do with all this red velvet cake? I mean, like, even if it is the food you do like, what are you going to do about it? I guess you should make it a food which is like really expensive, so you'd be insane to buy it for. Or something which is just like generally pretty good. So you'd be like insane to buy it. Like, oh, you know, D's favorite food is like, what's expensive, like lobster or something, or like Wagyu steak. And just be like, oh, or like a saffron, you know? Who's gonna do that, you know? Who's gonna come up to me and be like, here's some saffron to match D's favorite food? And even if someone does, I'd be like, wow, okay, this person just bought like the most expensive spice in the world as a meme. That's commitment, you know? You kind of got to respect at that point. I say kind of. You got to be careful with how you say, how much you say about respecting these things, eh? I never know how to shade our eyeballs in a way that looks good, you know? I feel like I always cheat and basically put no shading on them so they actually stand out more. But like these hooded eyes, I'm like, they should definitely have some sort of shading on them. And but, you know, their eyeball's round. It's got to be like spherical. But at the same time, it just looks a bit difficult. Difficult, lemon difficult. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess that kind of goes for if you play a character, not just a food-based character, but like any character which has a strong association with something or another. People like it when you, as an actor, I suppose, play into that character's stereotype or perception of community perception of that character. Which one is that? Yeah, that's that one. So I'm sure that gets very tiring anyway, no matter what it is. So don't blame, you know, actors, voice actors for not necessarily indulging in that. Because, like, I mean, no need to really. You're just someone who brought it to life. It's interesting how there's more of a strong association with actor / voice actor of being that character. Like, no one goes, oh, you know, the person who wrote this person's story, they're that character. You know? It's always the person who played them. Because I guess it has that. I mean, I'm not going to say that's weird. Like, why is that the case? Obviously, it's because that's more of a stronger association, isn't it? That's the person you actually, like, the voice you hear, the person you see on the screen. Of course, you're going to, like, in your mind, build it up as that association with a character. But really, you know, the writer presumably brings as much life to that character as the actor does. Like, it wouldn't exist without the writer. I'm not saying that one should get more credit than the other or anything like that. I'm just saying it's kind of interesting, you know? Because I think about it like when people, like, some people are absolutely insane for some reason when they don't like a media property. They decide the best people to, they decide that anyone needs to be harassed at all, which is insane. If you do that, please stop. But like the ones that are targeted like quite a lot tend to be the actors or voice actors. And maybe that's just because I hear it in like the Genshin like anime sort of esque communities quite a lot. But it's just like, you know, why? they have like very little. They actually have very little say over the direction We only have a say over the direction of a character's portrayal, really. We have no say over characters like status, standing, mechanical, balance, overpowered, underpowered. It's wild, but they're still the face of a character in the end. Absolutely bizarre. To a certain degree. That's probably a bit too red. I do want a reasonably dark shadow, I think, for this. Dark shadow. My Hero Academia, anyone? Which is... Well, the manga's ended, actually, hasn't it? And the anime's ending soonish? I think the anime's on the final season. I know what happens during it, so there's, like, not really much to spoil or anything. Part of me wants to write, like, a story like My Hero Academia. It's such a fun, like... As much hate as I suppose shonen, if you don't know what shonen is, like, media targeted at, like, young male adults normally, but... No, sorry. Like a teenage to young adult sort of, like, audience, so they tend to be much more action-oriented, hero, sort of classic stories. As much disdain and negative reputation, I suppose, that genre has, I suppose, for having very cliche-esque story beats, etc., etc., falling into the same traps over and over and over again. It just seems like a genuinely fun genre to write for, right? You know? Like, I'm sure writing My Hero Academia, it's so fun coming up with all the different, like, superpowers and the way they interact with each other, right? When you actually have to do character development, theoretically, you're like, oh no, I've got 300 different characters to develop. Which inevitably you don't... Oh no, that's fine. Obviously you don't develop all of them, because, you know, who's got time for that? I would like to see a media property try, though. Just be like, oh, we have like 300 different characters, which are regular occurrences within the show. Here's how we developed all of them. I'm not going to say it's impossible, because I don't think that's necessarily true. I mean, it is possible. I think it'll just be very difficult. It's like the ultimate ensemble cast. Everyone's part of the ensemble. Probably inadvisable is how I describe it. That could be a good, like, writing challenge or something. Write a story with way too many main characters, but give equal character development to all of them. I don't know. Probably someone who wrote the rules of how to write an ensemble cast is turning in their grave at the concept of that idea. Or not, I don't know. Other thing I wanted to talk about is the fact that there's a new Life is Strange oh, hello. Good day to you, Zuchilabara. Sorry, you... Oh, I was mid-conversation. What was I saying? Oh yeah, there's a new Life is Strange coming out, which I saw the trailer for yesterday. If you don't know Life is Strange, it's sort of like, how would I describe Life is Strange? To me, it always felt like a teen... sort of like, not drama's not the right word necessarily, but maybe drama is the right word necessarily. A teen sort of target audience. Well, not necessarily. Like maybe a story focused video game where the characters are really the sort of like core lifeblood of it. But it's about sort of like the mundane world we live in, but with a supernatural sort of like element towards it. And how people might react in a regular world with when faced with like the supernatural elements. Coming of age story, yeah, that's probably a better way of describing it. A Bildungsroman, as you might say. Which is honestly one of my favourite phrases to use from English literature back in the day. It's a Bildungsroman story. Yeah, and honestly, I think Life is Strange is generally like pretty well received as a story, as a series. Like, people love Life is Strange 1. I agree. I think it's also very good. Life is Strange 2, I think people say is the weakest, and I also agree. I think it's very, very heavy-handed with like the story it tells, in a way to the detriment of the story. Is the important part. You can have heavy-handed stories, but I felt like it was in a way where it's just like, I don't think you're properly exploring it as much as you're just... Why do I have a sketch layer here? What's this? It's just an empty sketch layer. Okay, well, let's get rid of that then. I have no idea what that is. Yeah, what was I saying? Life is Strange 2, yes. I think it was a bit... I think it does like some interesting things here and there, by the main character not being the one with a direct control of the power. It's more about how you teach how to use like this sort of burden of power. I thought that was an interesting concept, but I felt like it was very heavy-handed in the messaging in the end. And I feel like the conceit of it felt a bit... Maybe the premise of it felt a bit contrived in a way, but, you know, I think it's alright. Life is Strange 3 I also think is pretty decent. I understand where people are coming from, where I think the major complaint I hear about it is the fact that the ending like section of it feels like so... I'm not sure if Deus Ex Machina is the right word, but it feels like almost too sort of jolly. Like it like works out too well, which is, you know, fair. It's also like, oh, everything comes together and it all just somehow works. But I like it. Definitely made me think here and there. And then, I don't know where I was going with this. Why did I start talking about this? Oh yeah, and then Life is Strange 4 is coming out, which is apparently a sequel to Life is Strange 1, which is very, you know, I'm going to hold my tongue to see what they do with it, because Life is Strange 1 is definitely the most beloved, I think, of his series. Not that I have that much investment in it, so really, if it's terrible, I don't really care, but certainly a lot of people are ablaze about it, not believing that the writers could do particularly well with it, which may or may not be true. The only thing I'm surprised that they're still doing is they're still doing that sort of like chapter, like 2-week early access sort of thing. Like I beat the simple. I've not actually played any of Silent Hill, so I can't say if that's true. But if that's how it is, then yeah, sort of like that. You know, I always respect, I suppose, trying something new with like later installments of a sequel. But I understand at the same time, if you do that, you know, you're gonna have to be very prepared for when it fails. Like it happened with Darkest Dungeon, didn't it? Like people love Darkest Dungeon 1, for its sort of like not roguelike elements, but for sort of like building a party, then having a party like die, having to swap it out and have the mechanics want you to have a sort of like rotating cast that you eventually conquer everything with. But then Darkest Dungeon 2 changed it to be this like roguelike mode where the cast is now like, they're now like fixed characters. And I've not played either, so really I don't have a horse in the race. I'm just kind of like talking about it, just sort of vaguely. But I'm like, I respect them for trying something different. I don't understand the concept where it comes from. But I also understand from a fan perspective how it can be disappointing, being like, oh, I really like these elements in Darkest Dungeon 1, but then they like change it up completely and lose it in Darkest Dungeon 2. It's a hard balance to get, I think, for wanting to innovate upon the formula you have and instead of making exactly the same game, but also sort of keeping the core part of what people play the game for in the first place. You know, as much as I like to talk about game development and game dev, despite not being a game dev myself, it's a hard balance to do, you know. Even harder to understand the best things to do. Audiences tend to be pretty good at identifying problems, but tend to be pretty bad at coming up with solutions for them. Which is not meant to be like shade at like if you've played a game or if you've ever been a critic for a game or something. It's just sort of like something to be aware of, isn't it? From both a dev and a consumer perspective. But yeah, at least I would say, excuse me, the Life is Strange 4 premise, as I understand it, is about parallel dimensions, which makes sense. If you've played Life is Strange 1, sorry, sip of water. No spoilers, but you basically have choices which can happen at the end of the game, and these are very big choices which have pretty far-reaching consequences as things go. So it's interesting, like when I saw that Life is Strange 4 was meant to be a sequel to Life is Strange 1, I was just kind of like, how are they going to like resolve these two different parallel timelines? Or whatever, because they're like really, really different. Like, again, I'm not going to give you any spoilers if you've not played it, but they're like incredibly, they would be like locally world-changingly different in each case. So it's sort of just like, how are you going to resolve that? But then, like, the entire conceit about Life is Strange 4 is like, it's about parallel dimensions. It's about Max Caulfield being able to sort of live in these two realities at once. Which I'm like, okay, you know what? Whether you like Life is Strange 4's ideation or not, that's a pretty clever way, I think, to get around it. Especially because it feels so... I think it's clever, not because it's like... It's not, like, particularly clever to be like, oh, parallel dimensions, whoa, crazy. But it's clever because I guess it kind of fits... It fits very naturally into the sort of style of story Life is Strange lends itself to, you know? You can 100%, if you know sort of like vaguely about Life is Strange and things like that, you'd be like, oh yeah, 100% believe that they would have a game about parallel dimensions. Of course they would. Why wouldn't they? You know? At least that's my perspective on it. You may or may not disagree, which is fair, you know. Life is full of different opinions, and life is full of many doors, egg boy. Egg boy? Ed boy. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll just sort of have to see how it ends up being, to be honest. But yeah, I know some people are not too happy with Life is Strange 4, but I think most people are more upset about the early access thing. That's what a whole lot of fantasy animes from the 90s millennia. The journey of a young girl into fantasy realm was an allegory for puberty, but told in a much more fantastical way. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely still why that genre is one of the most well, fantasy in general is a sort of one of the most popular genres of all time. I actually don't know if it is the most popular like genre of all time. That's an interesting question. I've never really thought about that. I wouldn't be surprised if it was fantasy. Because the good thing about fantasy is you can explore a lot of different things which are in reality without having to sort of like as directly face them, you know? It's sort of like you can use the reality as a sort of basis for something, but use fantasy as a way to extrapolate from it in a way which doesn't feel as, you know, necessarily upfront about it, you know? Which is a good thing. I don't see that as a bad thing. No one actually said it was a bad thing, but, you know, I feel like I'm just, like, defending my bases. And this whole sort of, like, otherworldly idea. It's a very fun idea, especially when you're, like, you're a teenager and you're growing and you're trying to find out things about you, about the world. Like, I can't remember where I read this or something, but, like, how the fact that young adult, specifically... if you're trying to write like a young teen adult thing, is like the golden formula is basically adults are useless in this world. Like, that's the thing, right? And then like once I heard about that, like I was a young teen myself and I was reading these sort of books and I was thinking back to the books I read, I was like, it's so true. In all of these young adult like fictions or whatever, or teenage fiction, it's just like the adults, they're like, they can be good like role models and stuff like that, but they generally are like useless in actually saving the world. I think at that time I was reading a book series called The Shapeshifter by, oh god, Ali Sparks, I think. And I was reading it and I was just being like, wow, yeah, like there's one useful adult in this entire book series. And it's like the mentor figure to the main character. I can't even remember any of the adults in that series or whatever. I sort of like blew my 12, 13-year-old mind when I heard about it, being like, whoa, these demographics, so for like these genres, they kind of know what they're doing. They know the secret to the teenage heart. Is that sense of empowerment, I suppose, an exploration within a fantastical concept, of which they're given the keys to the kingdom, of being like, oh, you are the only one who can save us all. That's probably good for shading. How long has this taken? 30 minutes. Maybe this will take me now. I shouldn't have got so cocky with like how long I thought this would take. I do think that I can't imagine this is going to take that long. What? Oh, that's right. Because this is just going to be soft light in like the major places. Yeah. No, I don't like it like this. That's perhaps a bit too yellow, in fact. Makes it look like sunset. Which maybe it is. But yeah, what was I going to say? I don't know. I guess that was my first foray as a young teen into like, whoa, what the heck? Oh, I see. I was like, how did I just draw the body there? I didn't do the clipping mask. I guess that's the first foray into actually sort of like analysing tropes within these books I read as a child, teen. Yeah, I was not reading the Shapeshifter series as a child. Well, I don't know, I guess it kind of depends on your definition of a child. Anyway, the long and short of it is, fantasy is a very flexible and popular genre, I suppose, in that regard. There's a lot of different ways you can explore things, whether if you want to, you know, I guess that's like the direction I was trying to come from, is that fantasy, a very powerful genre, because one, you can explore things in a fantastical way, things which have absolutely no bearing or no relation to reality, or perhaps the comparison to reality is what makes it so interesting and intriguing. Like peering into a different society which doesn't exist, or maybe does exist, who knows, just through a different lens, while simultaneously you can use that comparison that people have to reality as a way to explore things in reality which, you know, may not exactly be as engaging for people to explore in like a much more realistic book. It sort of gives a sidestep out in both directions. It plays both sides of both reality and a false reality, so it always comes out on top. Anyway, thank you for coming to my TED Talk, my Deer Talk. And that's why I believe, without looking up, fantasy is the most popular genre. I don't know what else would, like sci-fi I guess would be the only other competitor, right? Right, I can't imagine any other genre. Like, do I think non-fiction genres would be more popular than fictional genres? I can't imagine that's true. I'm trying to think of what non-fiction genres are popular. Like documentaries, obviously, probably the most popular non-fiction genre. Maybe the only non-fiction. I don't really know what non-fiction genres are, to be honest, or how it gets delineated. I'm going to be honest, I don't really engage much in non-fiction. Things like true crime, etc., etc. People love a true crime. You are 100% right. I did forget about romance and smart. That is a very large genre itself, you know. It demands respect for its own existence. I guess I say fantasy because that's what people are much more openly, willingly to talk about. Which is fair. How am I going to shade this? Hold on. Put a pin in that for a second. That makes no sense, that sort of shading, but you know, we're just going to roll with it. You're not even going to be able to see the shading very well because of the dappled lighting which is going on. But true. That's like the secret royalty or genres. Romance / smut. Even then, you know, maybe fantasy's still bigger than it, right? Because I guess we're delving into the more not raunchy here, but like there's a very popular subgenre of romance, which is basically fantastical romance. No? You know, let people's imaginations run wild, I suppose. But I can't remember, but like, isn't there like a really popular author? And she's like really known for writing all of these like romance books with like fictional creatures or something. Like one with like Bigfoot or... I genuinely don't know how popular they are. This might have been someone which is being memed on or like is genuinely popular. It's like, oh man. Meanwhile, yeah, probably too many to count. So really, if anything, I think fantasy and romance, they kind of go hand in hand. My reads a lot of it. There you go. We got one anecdotal sample size, and thus I will take it as fact. I don't know. I've not actually read. Well, to be honest, I don't really. How did I spell highlight here? Hylioged. I don't really. I've only really recently gotten back into sort of like reading again, or trying to. So I've not really read much romance or something. Was not really popular towards my mind as a young teenager. Well, I don't know if that's true. I think I just never really gave it a shot, to be honest. I kind of only read, as trend chasey as this was of me, I kind of only read... What? What happened? Didn't I just do all the body highlighting? What's going on? What? Did I just delete it? Oh, I did just delete it. How did I do that? Yeah, romance genre not as popular to my young teenage mind. I actually don't like the colour of his highlighting. Like I said, it's very weird, I think, on the brown skin. I might take out a bit of a yellowish colour. That's probably good. Yeah, I'm trying to think like what book series I read. Again, as I say, but basically only the popular ones when I was a child. I'm trying to think of like what young adult I was. I don't know how I can just pick up a Kindle and up and down. Same way about I need to be able to focus. That's totally fair. I do find myself as someone who's able just to sort of like, whoa, that's not how you do things. Pick things up and just sort of put them down again. But I don't know. I'm not really sure like what stopped me from reading. Like the thing that stopped me from like reading and like picking up TV shows or something is the fact that it's just like, you know, it just feels like a lot of effort. It's like, so like I don't want to watch a TV show because like, there's so many episodes and I'm such a completionist. I'm like, I want to watch them all, but I'm like, I also can't be bothered to watch that many. Which is probably the wrong attitude to take towards all of it. I do want to use a relatively light lineup, but I think we'll go over with a dark lineup for the, unsurprisingly, the darker things. Well, I do have some books I've been able to enjoy in my lifetime. That's great, you know. Doesn't mean you have to enjoy every single thing like that out there. Find the ones which work for you. Yeah, art I can sometimes go back and forth on needing to concentrate on, not needing to concentrate. It kind of depends what I'm doing. Although, saying that, I've not really been drawing all that much recently. Like, the only stuff I draw nowadays is basically for DeerDarling, YouTube channel, Twitch channel. Never write one in. I've not, is that the vampire one? I think I only know of it as a movie. Which, by the way, Never Write One In is a banger title. Good subversion of a vampire story, yeah. Fair enough. I don't really know much about it, so unfortunately I can't comment. Oh, hello, MSMX. Thank you. Yeah, I don't really know much about it, so I can't comment on it, but, you know, great. It's fantastic. I feel like, at least with reading, there's so many, like, classic books out there. You know, things which you hear the title of so often, and it's like, I need to read these or something, but I've, like, never gotten around to it. Which is why I'm, like, trying to get back into reading. I'm currently reading Flowers at Algernon, which is a book which is often read, honestly, in, like, it's such a classic, it's, like, studied in schools. That's how you know it's a classic. But, like, I just, like, never read it, for whatever reason. Okay, that looks probably pretty good, I think. How's it look with the dappled lighting? I think we'll clean up the dappled lighting as the final thing we do. Okay. So it turns out this would take about an hour for us to do, but I need to do the background shading now. And I'm having a good time with Flowers at Algernon, to be honest. It's an intriguing book, intriguing concept. Sorry to bump into a combo. No worries. Hard for me to find books that I'd be into. I don't know where to start. I feel like, yeah, that's a very difficult thing to answer, really. I mean, like, I guess what I would say is probably if you know what you like in other media properties, that might be like a, oh no, what do I do? It might be an easier starting point to be like, oh yeah, you know, I can sort of branch off from there as a starting point. So if you like really like horror or something, maybe you start reading some Stephen King. If you really like sci-fi, you can read a sci-fi author. I don't really know many authors. Again, I'm not that big into literature, so I'm probably not the best recommendation engine. Or you can just like start with the classics and then like classic short stories or something. Like Flowers for Avalon's a pretty short book. It's only like 200 pages or something, right? Let's see, 230-ish. That's like tiny. Like I'm not even like, I've not had like a proper sit down and read it session, and I'm already like halfway through it. Like I read it sometimes like when I'm on the train, or sometimes I read a little bit before bed. It's easy reading, you know. Also, you know, audiobooks are a very good way, I think, to get into it. Like, you don't have to physically read a book if you prefer audiobooks. I don't see why that's a bad thing either. I'm not saying like you should or shouldn't. That's kind of up to you, I suppose. You're the arbiter of your own life. Where's my bag? Oh, the bag's up there. Oh, okay. It's on a different layer. I forgot. But yeah, I would just guess that the most sensible thing to do would be like, oh, okay, either start with books which people you know are classic books, like 1984 or something, which is also a book I've not read, George Orwell, where people are just like, this is a good book. You know, most people would be able to find something in it. You know, trust a popular consensus for a thing. If it's popular with a lot of people, then presumably there's a good chance it'll be popular with you. And if you like it, then fantastic. You found a starting off point. But just like with any media property, I suppose, it's always like you got to end up just taking some risks here and there of like trying something where you're like, am I going to like this? Am I not? Who knows? The only way to find out is to actually, you know, give it a shot. But I would say, you know, hold on. This is thinking caps time. What would be a book I would recommend for, like, if I had to recommend one book for everyone, for someone who's trying to dive into reading, what would be a good book to start with? I'm not really sure what I'd say. Because I think there's two directions to go about this. Like, young adult sort of fiction is like a really easy starting point for a lot of people, and something which a lot of people like as well. I think I read 84 in late elementary or early middle school, but that might have been too early. General pick is hard. Yeah, I don't know. Like, maybe something like A Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, despite the fact I've never read it. I feel like it sort of fulfills this sort of criteria. I don't know what, like, in my mind, the first book I went to was like Animal Farm, because I remember reading that in school and really enjoying it, actually. That's probably like the major book I read in school where I was like, I still like it. Actually, Lord of the Flies was pretty decent as well, and I did actually enjoy Mr. Pip quite a lot, but I don't know if I'd reread either of those, to be honest. But Animal Farm, I thought was generally good. Is this on a different layer? Oh, it's on a different layer, okay. So, yeah, I think I would probably just choose like a fantasy sort of genre or something. Animal Farm, is that even spelled? Yeah, it's a George Orwell book. It's about animals on a farm. I don't know, I found it quite gripping. I started a fanfic that's not weird, but I want to voice the characters out loud, and I'm still a bit sick. Oh, cool. That's right, you don't need to justify not weird here. I'm not going to assume weird. And even if it was weird, I mean, more power to you, you know. Write that weird fiction that you want. It's a fanfic, who cares? What's the base world it's based off? Is that how you phrase that sentence? I don't think that's how you phrase your sentence. Like, what universe is it a fanfic of, is what I'm trying to say. But voicing the characters is fun. One of my favourite parts, I suppose, of doing story-based games on a YouTube channel is to talk like the characters. Oh, you're reading it! That makes more sense. Has Been Hotel, classic. There are definitely certain media properties in every certain age where if you're a fan of it and you like fanfic, you're absolutely golden, because there's got to be endless bounties of it. Has Been Hotel, Homestuck back in the day, there's probably others. Anything which has a popular like internet following, right? I should probably shade the floor. This stuff. I don't know why I haven't. I don't know if it's necessarily better or worse with one of these, but I do want to at least make it look like she's on the ground. Hard to explain what it's about if you haven't watched it. It's a continuation of finale. Despite the fact I've not watched it, I feel like I actually know a decent amount of the plot. I'm not going to spoil it for people, obviously, here, but... which I feel like I picked up just, like, through osmosis. And listening to the songs, actually. Love me some good songs in any media property. But yeah, I'm trying to think, like, how much fanfiction did I read? Like, when I was younger, as a teen. I don't even know what fanfiction I read. I think probably mostly Homestuck, but mostly I didn't read much fanfiction so much as I, like, ingested, like, fanfic comics or something like that. I think that's probably the better way to put it. The thing with fanfiction, though, is, like, it's quite hard to get a lot of it off the ground, isn't it? It's a lot of work doing that sort of thing. I'm trying to think what fanfiction I even read when I was younger. I actually have, like, no recollection of most of it, so I guess maybe it wasn't as formative, as I would have expected for me. I think there was some My Little Pony fanfiction I read. I think I read a bit of Fallout Equestria. I don't really remember it though at all. Oh, I remember I used to read some Hunger Games fanfiction. Of, like, different Hunger Games and, like, Quarter Cows and the ideas. I you know, maybe it was a bit of, like, a edgy teenager side of me. I thought Homestuck was a franchise by itself. Homestuck is, like, an online web comic, which is... I'm not sure if it's kind of turned into a franchise. I guess it is, like, multimedia now, because it's got, like, a video game. I guess the music's a big part of it. But yeah, it's quite the epic saga, I think, of a webcomic. It's like, if you don't know, it's like huge. It's like hundreds, thousands of pages long. And it's got like 7 different chapters or whatever. And I remember following it so, like, in-depthly, because I started, like, at the start of secondary school, and it finished, like, when I was in sixth form or something, right? So that's, like, 7 years spanning of it, like, updating. And then, oh man. It's still going as well, but there's like a Homestuck 2 or something, which I have no idea what's going on with that, except I just hear controversies from it every now and then. Well, I'm just like, alright, interesting. There's a bit of a gross colour I used for the dappled light. What was past me thinking? But anyway, I want to sort of clean up some of these dappled light colorations. Whoa, that's not right. If anything, I should be using a blending brush, not a fingertip brush. Just sort of smooth some of these things out. Yeah, it's quite the epic saga, I'd say, Homestuck. Worth a read, maybe, if you've got a lot of time on your hands and you were just like, you know, I want something to sort of like tide me over, or I want something to like really stick your teeth into. I think it'd be quite entertaining. I think the thing I like, sounds like a franchise to me, a fanfic to me is... Oh yeah, it's not a fanfic. I meant like I read Homestuck fanfics, but like fan comics is probably the better way to put it. Homestuck itself is definitely not a fanfic. But franchise to me sounds like it's like a multimedia sort of thing. Sorry, like I probably phrased that really confusingly. Me talking at 1,000,000 miles per hour. Probably didn't help. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, but yeah, hey, I don't think I've done an Animal Crossing episode on Homestuck yet. I don't even know if I could say all I want to say about Homestuck in 20 minutes. But I think it's a very enjoyable sort of media property. In the sense that I love its world building. And I like a decent amount of its character development, although it kind of goes... It kind of like, not to spoil things, it kind of chucks a lot of it out the window in the later acts. And I'm just like, alright then. Which I think is where I lost a lot of the luster for it. But I adore its world building. And like its concept. It's like the perfect, not the perfect, that's a bit dramatic, but I guess it was my first foray into like the concept of like isekai, otherworld sort of fantasy. Bring back a 30-minute yapping just about. Thinking of my own thoughts too. I feel like our phrasing, for some reason, tickles me in such a way. Thinking of my own thoughts too. Like I know what you're saying, but I don't know. It just sounds like a amusing way to say it. Sorry, that probably sounded rude. I meant to. I don't mean to make. I don't mean to make that sound like in a bad way or anything. Anyway, where was I going with this? Let's make this a bit more reddy orange. And let's do a bit of colour bleed. Why not? We love a bit of colour bleed, don't we? Don't we, folks? What's colour? This would be the colour, isn't it? Yeah, I just love the concept about it. Like we have this like whole class pin. It's not rude. Fantastic, you know. If you didn't find it rude, all the better. So to cover my tracks, you know. Last thing I want to do is get online here and be like, oh no, I made someone's day worse from something I said. Unintentionally, of course, but you got to trust, you know, people have a understanding comprehension. People aren't immediately going to take things as off a bad way. I forgot what I was saying now. So I'm feeling time. What was the conversation I was saying? Oh yeah, Homestuck, and it's got like this sort of isekai like element to it. Like we have a thing where like, oh, fate determines like your class and aspect, which is basically sort of like a fantasy RPG style class thing. But it's like the part I loved about it, because I love obviously character development and ensemble casts, is that like each of these class specs are chosen presumably by fate or whatever to be something which challenges the characters. And I was just like, whoa, like in-world universe aspect for explanation for being able to develop the characters in XYZ way. It's like fantastic, brilliant, we love it. I almost want to put, not that, I might want to put another soft light orangey glow in some of these dappled lights to make them feel more warm, you know? I also might want to turn it down a little bit. What else can I sort of like add as a finishing touch? I don't have a lot of time for finishing touches, but I think this has a sort of like warm glow feeling, which I'm going for. But yeah, and I love my ensemble cast, and Homestuck is very much an ensemble cast story. That's pretty good. I don't think it's going to look like it's changed much on the thumbnail art, but still, we can make the text a bit better than whatever this is. How can we make this better? We can make it like a photo frame. How about that? I don't know if that would be necessarily better, but it'll be something. Okay. Bring in the text box. Bring it in. Invert it. Wait, what does the current one look like? Does the current one have a photo frame element to it. Kind of. It's got like a vignette element. I want this to be like a sepia Polaroid or whatever. I want it to look like an aging photograph. Of dreamy days gone by. Back me up real quick. Is D secondary school or college uni? May not be schoolgirl or two. In my mind, D, I guess, would be... Well, I guess she's like frozen in time about the age where... About like uni age or something. It's past her as well? Yeah, I honestly don't know. Like, in my mind, all of these sort of thumbnail arts are just like photo shoots, you know? Whatever. Like, it's like a magazine spread. She's like a model or something. Who knows? Maybe it's a clothing advert or something. That's like a sort of like ideation I come up with. But D's age is probably around my age, probably a bit younger than me, I'd imagine. Because I guess I've tied her to the age I was when I started the YouTube channel, which would be about 24-ish. So I guess that's like post-uni, right? She'd be like post-grad. I don't know. She's vaguely somewhere uni age, so I'd guess. You know, like how in fictional fiction, yeah, exactly. None of these events are in a timeline. Just like how in fiction, there's just like, oh, these characters are, for, you know, Ash Ketchum's like forever 10. These eternally whatever age she needs to be to match what's going on. She's a mystical being, which doesn't have a way of solidly being tied down. Thus, you cannot even contain her. She's actually a mimetic entity. She's an SCP monster, but a rather benign one who only wants to have these lovely like photo shoots here and there. I guess we could also do this to make it feel more like, I know I'm kind of doing like 2 photo ones in a row, but whatever. They're different. The other one was like a memory. This one is more like an actual photo. Ignore the fact I did the text like it was an actual photo. Do I have no? I should use a not brush, pencil. Charcoal? I don't know if this has a... Her CV number changes every day to match Animal Crossing Day. I love that conceptually. Oh god, what the heck? That does not scale up very well. Oh, it scales up terribly. Let's use real pencil. Supreme pencil. That doesn't even draw anything. Mechanical pencil. Mechanical pencil. Okay, here we go. Mine looks more like a L. I feel like that's too thin. I think it needs to be a bit thicker. Because I was looking at it, I don't think you're going to be able to read it. I'm not sure if this is a brush is the way. I actually genuinely need like a brush which scales up pretty well. And none of these brushes do. None of these pencils do. That doesn't even look like a pencil. That doesn't look like a pencil either. What's going on? None of these look like pencils when they're scaled up. Okay, maybe that's why I used this line art brush, because it kind of looks more like a gritty pencil. Just checked, it's going to be 1650 today. Some sort of clay pot thing. Clay pot thing? Oh, I see. I was just like, what are you talking about? I love reading. Oh god. Sorry, let me concentrate on actually writing this first. Oh, I did that M weirdly. Yep. Might change the colour of it so it doesn't blend into the frame too much, but I love reading SCP. It's here and there. My favourite one, thank you for not asking, but if you're curious, is I can't remember the number. I think it's 2521. It's an SCP where if you write anything down or say anything about it, it will add you to its collection of things, because it's like a vain SCP. It hoards all information about itself, but it doesn't understand pictures. So the entire like SCP article is written in like a pictogram format, and I'm like, I love this. I love it so much. What? What is going on? I feel like I want a brown colour, but I don't think brown's gonna... Yeah, brown doesn't show up. That's quite nice. I don't think it's gonna be particularly readable from a distance, but... I mean, look at that. How fancy is that, you know? Just saw the page is super creative. Yeah, I love it. That's my favourite SCP. What else can we do? I think we'll just leave it like this. Let's not overcomplicate things. And then normally is when we would round the stream off here, but because I've done this like backwards, I've done the art first because I thought it would be less than an hour, and I was incredibly wrong. We still got about an hour left. Well, I'm going to play some Pedestrian, I think. Continue on with a little bit of that. SCP in general is so insane too. It's almost normalized. A whole fake organization for creepypastas is born out of the internet. But the collaborative storytelling power of the internet never should cease to amaze me, but it always does. Wait, that's not how you say that sentence. Will never in general cease to stop being amazing. People coming together just to keep a joke going. It's not even a joke, like a general like storytelling thing. Hold on, I feel like this text should be a bit low as well. Excuse me, my mouse. Oh, there's actually hair on it. Okay, fair enough. I was gonna say I had problems with my mouse really recently where it keeps being really jittery, but that time there was literally just a hair on it. So okay, there we go. Move the text down a bit. How readable is that from a distance? You can see that SPT. I think you'd be able to get it September. Yeah, no, it's a joke, but like a group collaborative exercise in storytelling is perhaps a better way to put it. And it's amazing what like things have come from it. I'm trying to think of like other good SCPs I've seen and I really like. Because I've not read that many, so often I've only read like the really short ones or ones which are kind of famous. Because I'm gonna be honest, I'm not reading 3,000. I think it's on 6,000 different like SCP articles or whatever. There's one which I really like as a very sort of like jokey one, which is, I can't remember what it's exactly called, but it's something like the rock where when you're in its presence it makes you procrastinate, or like when you hold it makes you procrastinate or something. So then the entire article is just like, oh, I don't know, it's like a rock or something, makes me not want to do things. I don't know, I'll name it, I'll classify it later. And I'm just like, you know, obviously this only works once as like a subversive article or something, but I'm like, I love it as a subversive article for an SCP. Short and sweet. Wow, you know someone's read all that. Someone has. But I'm no doubts about it. There are some super fans of SCP out there, and more power to them, you know. Some great collaborative writing on there. I read the IKEA one. The one where it's like you get lost in the IKEA and there's like civilizations in there or something. That was a pretty good one. What other SCPs have I read? So I'm just opening up Pedestrian right now. Stop the music. Title screen. As we go into... Did I play this on my controller? I might have played this on my controller. This looks like a controller-based game. Yeah, they are gimmicky ones. I can't remember the actual good ones. Are you doing 79? I actually started like late today because I was busy this early afternoon. So today I'm doing, instead of doing 7 to 9, I'm doing, what would it be in your time? 8:30 to 10? I'm stopping in an hour. I'm stopping at 6. My time. I don't know, like I was saying at the beginning, this is probably a more convenient time for a lot of my viewers because, again, American time is... Excuse me? Hello, controller? Pedestrian? Please recognize it. But I don't know. If it is more convenient, maybe we can make it more of a usual thing. I'm clicking the wrong things. Okay, there we go. He's recognized it now. So yeah, we're still going on. We're still cracking on. I don't know where I am, by the way, in Pedestrian. You usually start 6 a.m. in. Yeah. So this is. I wouldn't expect this to become a usual thing, but oh yes, we just went into the next world. But maybe. It could become a thing. I like, it's not too much different for me, starting 1 hour later. There's more of a convenience thing in the end. 2 to 5 just ends up working better on my end. No, I died. I know you post Animal Crossing videos at midnight for you and 4 p.m. for me. Wait, you must be like very West Coast or something, right? 8 hours difference? Oh, that's not how you play this game. What is going on? What's the button? Hold on. I don't remember the controls. A is jump. A is also interact. And B is pick up. Okay. Well, we'll mash every button. We'll see. Okay, no, that's that button. Okay, B is interact. There we go. Not going more specific than that. Absolutely. No need to. No. Well, the thing is, I can't hit that switch again, though, is a problem. I don't know how I'm going to do this in time, to be honest. I'm not even sure if I can do this in time. How am I meant to hop on over there and not get lasered immediately? I can't fall fast enough. There's no fast falling in this game. Or maybe there is fast. Whoa! Oh, I'm so dumb. I forgot you can fall through the platforms. I don't need to. I don't need to undo. I don't need to undo the lever every time. Yeah, there we go. Excuse me? I didn't fall. Oh yeah, no, it's I just press down. It's not down and jump like it usually is in other games. I also don't 100% remember what I'm doing. I know I'm trying to collect things. This is going to be a long day. Glad I packed lunch. Coffee can't hold you forever. I'm actually not a coffee drinker, thank you very much. Someone planning out like the levels and routes here or something. Do we want to get the light bulb, a box, or the coil first? Let's get a light bulb first, why not? Right, okay, I see. What are we trying to do? Where are we trying to go? Where am I supposed to go? This is our exit. That much I know. Right, so we can only incorporate... Oh, okay, I see. So we need this to turn on this. But we can't hop off of it. No, we need the box. So... we need the box. Or where do we need the box? I suppose is a right question to ask. Presumably, we'd want to go into here as our main thing. It doesn't matter which of these we connect to. We can go in here, I think. And then I think the box we'd want over here. I don't actually know what we're doing with box yet, so it's all a bit ambiguously vague. That much we can figure out though. And okay, insanely great. Yeah. The Pedestrian has very, very flashy, cool presentation. Okay, B is a button. This part might just only... It's a very, very cool game. So, hold on. We can turn this on. Oh, only temporarily. So this only works for a bit. So we're meant to put the box, and I presume the light bulb... Oh, hold a minute. Do we need the box to reach the light bulb? Is that what this is for? Right, okay, so that's what this is for. In which case, we need the box to go up. So we actually need this to go to this one, and we need this one to go to that one. Don't we? I swapped it around. That's pretty good for just like a random guess of what I was doing. Oh, I don't remember which way around I connected these. Wrong way. We've got to get to the box. We're going to push the box out. And we're going to put it on the spring. And hopefully it will hop up high enough. Such that we can put it in the second place. Grab it. And use it to get the light bulb. Wunderbar. Yeah, this Pedestrian's a reasonably old game at this point now. I think it's been out for... I'm going to guess... Oh, we need a box again. We need a box again. I don't think we can get the box over here. Right, so this means that this needs to be... This needs to be at this one. And this needs to be at that one. Okay, so it turns out it wasn't as good a guess as I wanted it to be. Because then we can push a box back through here. Can you move the rooms themselves? Yeah, you can like move them like around like this. But the only thing that really matters is the relation of our connections. Is it this one? No, not this one. But there is actually one of the mechanics. Is where that actually does matter, how you move the rooms, because one of them is basically like the rooms has a hole in it, and then like you can walk through the hole to essentially imprint yourself. Like if this one like had a hole here, I could put it on top of this one and I could like teleport between the rooms like that. I'd push rooms closer to their connection so it's easier to remember. Yeah, I could do that, and I think I did do that last time. I just couldn't be bothered. I thought I had it in the bag this time, so I was just like, it's easy. I need to get the key back. I forgot. As we all know, making something easy for yourself is sometimes making it hard for yourself. And that's the deepest thing I've ever said. So true. And oftentimes, the game, to be fair, does also encourage you to move the rooms closer to where they should be. Mainly because if they're like at too sharp an angle, you can't like actually put them in together or anything like that. So this should be enough to come down here. We'll attach a nice little light bulb to the top of our Game Boy. What does this mean? Yet to find out what it means, but we need to get the other stuff to progress onwards. What's going on here? So we need to turn this on. Hop, hop, hop to it. Hop, hop, hop. Hop to the top. Yeah, we're gonna hop, 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 hop to the top. Okay. It's not even a puzzle. It's just traversal. What does that say? Quilline, Louis Arts University. Ah, see, this is a mechanic where you had to put things on top of each other, and it's definitely the most mind-bending mechanic. This one has one door, okay. And it's this. This is the only door. Where are we trying to go? And where's our box? So our box is here. We need to push it off. And our exit's over here. So presumably where the box falls off and we want to push it off over here. What things can we move? We can move everything. We can move... Oh, we can't quite move everything. Oh, I see. These bricks are blocking us. So this can start almost anywhere. But nothing turns these lasers off. Unless, hold on, I don't actually know if we can do this. Can we swap mid-air? Like, can I do this? And then swap myself into... Oh! Okay, interesting. And then from here, we need to catch ourselves. Like this. Wow. Weird. So this will have to be something like we had to... Let's do it like this, right? Okay, no, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Drop that off. Turn off our laser. Wow, that's an interesting one. What an interesting use of that mechanic. Got to go for a sec. Definitely watching these back in my vids. And go for it, you know. I hope you enjoy whatever you're doing. And, you know, I look forward to seeing you in the VODs. Anyway, what am I doing? What am I doing here? Oh, I need to change. I forgot to change a category. I forget this every single time. I need something which does it automatically for me, like on the hour for pedestrian. There we go. No longer art. There is no art to be created here except for my amazing art solving skills. What is his power over laser? It feels like we need them alternating because we need to make like a staircase. I don't know why I said staircase so weirdly. Staircase. So that's always the introductory one. And then it's like, what do we do from here? Wow, this is just like a completely different mechanic. Is that... This is fixed. That's fixed. This is our exit. We need a key. And we need a coil. Why do we have an empty room? Oh, this is a teleport room. Is it? It must be a teleport room. What do we have to do? We need to come down into the ladder. So we could teleport into this room, come down into the ladder, grab a key, drop down, bounce up here. This will turn on the laser and that spring. We need to teleport into this to really turn that off. Well, we can just do this immediately, can't we? Like, this doesn't break anything, does it? But where do we want this to go? We can go into here. Drop down into here, which drops us down into here. We can teleport up here as well. Okay, so I think this wants to connect to here. This, I think, wants to connect us to here. The final thing we want to do is to teleport into this room to drop down again. So we want to go into here. We want to we can't teleport into that room, which I think is fine. So that's turned that on. We go down into here. We drop... Where? This door can't even go anywhere. Why were we given it? But I need to go to this ladder. Wait, so I don't need this on. Because I want to Drop down in here. I want to teleport into this room. Get the ladder to come down into here. Go back down into here. Teleport in. Does that work? I think I've... If this works, I think I've solved the game in a different... I think I solved this level in a different way than intended. So I can't imagine you're meant to do this and then... do this. Right? Oh, I can't carry them both. That's okay. I can come back with this one. Oh, well, no, it's a one-way thing. I can't carry them both through, can I? Ah, the ladder I need to go to can't be this ladder. Because once I teleport in there, I'm stuck in there, aren't I? Yeah, okay, so this doesn't work. What? Reset everything. I thought there was a reset everything button, but maybe there's not. Right, so actually that can't be that ladder. We have to have either this ladder be that ladder or that ladder be the other ladder. Because we need to be able to access this room twice. Once with a key, and then we need to be able to go up. So, So probably we want this to happen, right? That's my guess. Because we only need to access that room once. We want this to happen. We probably want this to happen. Because this is one directional, which is fine when we're starting out. And we'll just sort of send it. We'll see how it works. Because we want to start out by going into this room, going down the ladder, grabbing the key, hopping up here, turning this on. We can do this. Open that. Now we need to get the spring. Which we go in here, we go over here, go over here, go over here. Yes. No? Wait, we don't even need to do that. We could just go over here. No, we can't go over here. That doesn't go across. Ah, I think I've found the dilemma. Because I want this off. Because now I can go across here downwards into here and then teleport here, turn that off, grab the coil, but now I can't get out because that's not on. So it can't be that ladder. Goes there. It has to be these ladders the other way around. Like that has to be this ladder, this has to be that ladder. Weirdly. That can't be right. Because the only way we can get to this room is from this room. So why do we want to connect them like this? That can't be right. But let's see. We drop down here. We get the key. We come out. We come out over here. We drop down in here. Unlock it. Come back out. Bounce up here. Turn on this thing. That's fine. We don't need to access this top bit anymore. We go through here. No, we just need to get to this room. But we can't access this room anymore. So this can't be right. There's no way this could be correct. What can we do? Unless this connected to that room immediately. But then these rooms can't connect to each other. This has to be this way round. For the doors. Otherwise they just don't connect. So we have to probably teleport into this room. Let ourselves... I know we actually have to just straight up teleport into this room. So we have to be able to come here multiple times. So this cannot be correct. Does that mean this connects to this one? Isn't this what we just did? We teleport in here. Grab the key, come down. Lower cells unlock, come back up, jump up here. Turn that on. Ah! We don't get rid of a key yet. We drop down with a key on our back through here. Leave a key. Teleport. Teleport where? Teleport in here, turn this off, jump up here. Yes, okay. We don't put the key away yet. But I think that's the key with what we have to do. We need the key as a protection from a laser. It's not that we can't go that way anymore. It's perhaps more accurate to say that we need just something else. What? I thought the key could protect us as we fell down. It was something. Maybe I misremembered. Okay, so this is not right. Like, the doors have to be this way round, otherwise the doors are not connected. And then this room is useless. So I'm going to assume the game has not put in... Because the game hasn't put in red herrings for us yet. As in, like, completely useless elements. So it must be the ladders of the wrong connection. So we teleport. We can't teleport into this room. Important to remember. Maybe we teleport into this room. Connect this ladder. Here, go down, grab the key. This ladder... The thing is, I don't want to make this a one-directional door. Because this makes it as soon as we teleport in here, we can't get out again. But this is an inherently useless connection. Which is why I'm like, this must... The only thing which makes sense is that you teleport here. So maybe you are this one, and you are this one? Let's try it. Maybe that's the key. So we go here, we grab this. No, wait, we don't want that on yet. But how are we gonna get out? I guess we need to turn the laser off again to get out. So we go through here, we hop up here. Then we have to teleport over here. Turn that off, grab this, get out, jump. And then this will lead us back to here. We can turn off a laser once again. There we go. I don't know why I never considered just turning the laser off again as an option. But it's a good thing I did. Otherwise we'd be stuck on that level for a bit. Oh no, did not mean to drop that. Not sure what the point of this. Interesting. So this is a backtracking. That's a backtracking level. What am I doing with this? I'm connecting this up with here. Okay. Nice. I don't know how much more we need to backtrack necessarily, but... I think we're making good progress, nonetheless. Hopefully it takes us back to that hub area. It does. Now, which way did we go last time? I don't remember. 274. Wonderful. We're getting there. That's chapter 2, presumably. The yellow bookmark falling to the floor as we continue onwards. Excuse me. More puzzles to solve. But it feels like there's a lot of secrets actually in this game, which I've just not touched upon, because maybe I've like not pressed this at the right opportunity to try and find the other connections, but... Oh, that's a backtracking button. So once we go through here again. Because look how things are built up. Such that you can backtrack easily. Weird, huh? Well, maybe not weird, but... Okay. This seems weird to me. I guess it's trying to teach me a mechanic, but the mechanical blocking. This seems very suspicious. Can we connect these? This is a more like diegetic sort of level. Okay. Ah, wait, hold on. This is probably teaching us... Oh, what? Oh, it doesn't even matter anymore because, okay, things which happen in the real world stay, I suppose, happening. So, okay, so this is teaching us reset is now a mechanic in the game. Oh, God. How crazy. So what does this power up, if anything? Nothing. There's actually no electricity running through there. Oh, there's two spools. Where are we trying to go? So we can connect like this, like this. Maybe this already connects like this, like this. I see. I feel like this is going to make some very restrictive levels. If there's only so many, like, very forced configurations we have to do, right? Because those have to basically fit right next to each other. What's this do? What does that lock? Ooh! It's about music change. Whoa! The door opening, I don't know, that felt like a very fun... What's going on about TV screen? I don't know. Sort of transition, but sort of like smooth jazz. Okay. Where are we trying to go? Just over there? Okay. Oh, I see. We had to do this. Hop underneath. Turn off the lasers. Turn the back on. Use that as an elevator. Interesting. New mechanics galore. So that's a satellite dish. Let's get the key first. I don't know what. One of them is a lightning bolt we're trying to get. Okay. We're playing Super Meat Boy now. What's this do? Right. Let's not just jump into the laser for no reason. This is probably to block off that bottom right laser. Yeah. This is to block off the bottom laser. Why am I so bad? I did not mean to do that. 'Twas an accident. 'Twas brillig and the slimy toes did gimble and gamble in the grave. Or worse than were the Minder Groves, who something gave. Okay, so just for that. I'm going to solve a level now. Flawlessly. Wait, which way do I want to go? And go both ways, I guess? Huh. Whoa, this level looks crazy. What the heck is this? Okay, let's start here, I guess. Wait, we don't have a spool. Oh, do I need to go back the other way to get the spool of wire first? Oh, but I can't take this spool of wire.
Hold on. I'm very confused. Why did we have a branching path here? Oh, it's not a branching path. Oh, it's probably the way back. Okay. Here I am over looking into it too much, when really I should just be solving a puzzle ahead of us. But this is a door. Right, surely can't go anywhere. Does this work? Oh, that does work. What? Oh, that's not a good door to go through. It had to be this door. What spool of wire can we even get? We can get this one. But we can't get back. What's going on? Actually, the spool of wires is going to reset as well. Ain't it? So maybe we can get this border wire? No, we need a key. This is a teleporting key though, isn't it? Oh, it's so stuck in here. Okay. This is the other key. There's now the ladders down. That would just teleport us into a useless place. So it has to be up here, which we use to teleport down here, which we use to grab a spool to go up. Nowhere. Oh, wait, I'm dumb. I bet we could probably just connect across here. Yeah, okay. Fair enough, you got me. I overcomplicated it once again. But sometimes overcomplication is the first step to mastery. Okay. Wonderful. So now this is open. Let's reset everything. We need to get this stuff open. No, we need to get this open first. We need to get all the pipes open before we start thinking about... What do we need to power up? This over here. We need to get all the pipes open first, and then we need to start thinking about how to escape with the keys, because the keys and doors will get reset otherwise. So we need 2 spools. One we can get here. The other doesn't really matter. Either of these two. Probably this one again, because we can teleport into here. We can do that same thing. Oh, we're stuck there though. So probably this door will go in here first. No, we teleport in here first, unlock this door. So we probably use this spool to get this ladder to get this spool. We go down through here, grab it, come out, jump in here. Pum pum. As a final thing we do. So before that we need to be in here. So we teleport in here, open this door. Great. Got it. So this goes to here. This goes to over here. This goes over here. And this needs to be the final thing we do. And we teleport in here first. We unlock this door. Grab this spool. Go through. Come down. Grab another spool. Walk back up. Perfect. Everything is set up. We just need everything to be in position. And it opens that. Wonderful. Okay. Wow, this is a really cool level and very complicated. Okay, now we need to do this again. But we have one more connection to make. So this presumably connects like this. Oh, no, it doesn't. So this is where things need to end up. So we need 3 spools. The third spool being over here, which has 2 left doors. So presumably we teleport in here. Well, we can't get that key. So we go in. Where's our final? Our final spot must be this one again. It's the only thing with one door. And this can only connect to this, which we use to drop down. We grab this, and then it makes sense for this to be the final spot. Or we can go into here, connect this, grab this, go out this side. Go in here, connect this, use this ladder, drop down. Okay, I think that works. Wait, does it work? Yes, it does work. This is what we're doing. Okay, follow on. We run in here, we grab this key, we open the right door, we go back up, grab a spool, go through this transitionary corridor, connect that up with this one up with this one. Now, we move this up here. So we have a ladder downwards to do this. Grab this to get this door over here. Run up here, connect across this one, and through this other transitory door, go down here. Oh no, I messed up. Because these are both left side doors. No! No. Okay, I've messed this up. What needs to happen is this. In some form or another. So we teleport in here and we unlock this door? No, this must be the final thing we do. This is the only left-facing door, right? Or that one is a left-facing door. Okay, that's actually fair. So it's not this. It's... This one goes to this door. And this one goes to that door. To start off with. Right. Ah, this level is so cleverly designed. It's probably been my favourite level thus far. Because each row round we're using the same elements over and over again, but it has a different solution each time. What clever little level. I think the thing which has helped this level out immensely is the fact that... Wait, what do we need to connect? Oh god, did I connect the wrong thing? I was not paying attention to which wires actually need connections. It is this one. Okay. Phew. And that's given us a key, which we can use. By breaking an established door. And just teleporting out to the exit. Wonderful. Oh, wow. What a cool level that one was. Genuinely my favourite level thus far, I think. Like, that was genuinely clever. Right. So, this was just a way to go backwards in the end. Why even put saw blades here, though? That's my question. Each of the levels gets harder and harder. Why do we even need this? Oh, here. Not sure what this is. Lightning bolt. GD. I see. Oh, okay, we're getting a power source over here. What? Oh, nothing can move. Well, it has to be like this then. It has to be like this. So this is our source. We need to get it out here. So we need to power this, which powers from this, which we need to connect from this, which connects from this. Oh, man. Power source. What do we... We need to open... We need this to connect to this. So it can go across here, connect to these two, so it can go across here to connect these two, to power that door. That's too many, isn't it? Oh, this splits off to two. Okay, so we connect this to that. Now we have two power sources. This one can do this one to open that door, so we can actually go through. Okay, that seems like the only place which seems logical start off with. I don't know if it matters which one. I guess it makes more sense to do it this way. Maybe it doesn't make much sense to do it that way. Nah, whatever. So now we can get through. That door is powered. We have this. We go back through power that thing. But wait, hold on. We need to be able to get through. Which we can only do by this. And then we'll have one more spool. I think we just had to sort of like set things up here, then undo things as we go backwards, right? So now we don't need access to that room anymore. So now we can take this spool. I see, also quite a clever level. This game's got a lot of clever design in it, huh? No wonder it like won awards or something. But now we can do that. Then we can go backtrack again. We don't need that one anymore, I think. I forgot what we were even trying to do with all this. But now I need one more spool. Huh. I don't have another spool. Like, that has to be made. This has to be made. And this has to be made to have that door open. Wait, I think I'm going to bring a spool over here. Wait, what? I need like 2 spools. I know, but I need a spool in here as well. Hold on, what? I need 2 spare spools. How's that possible? Oh, can I do have a connection and close the door on it? But I can't even get in there without... Oh, no I can. I'm dumb. Because I don't need the double thing anymore. I just need to connect like this, right? And as long as I've got this connected, I can put that down. Take this. Connect it like this. It connects through the door. I see. Okay, okay. It was all about efficiency in the end. And now, boom, powered. I got the power. And now we can get the spool. What does that say right there? Guttio. Cut 10. Joey Eek is what it looks like it says on the other one. Huh. So presumably this needs to be here. I can open that door. This can also open that door. Where am I trying to go? I'm trying to get the spool out. Right. Okay. Overwhelming start. To just straight up everything. Where's even useful to go? Everywhere seems useless. No, not everywhere. This room itself is actually useful. No, it's not. No, I lied to myself. So we had to... Okay, so this room we can only access by teleporting, which means to get into this room we need access to that room, which means this room comes after that room. So we need to get to this room first, which we can only get through... But we can't use up ladder because it can only go to here, so that's not usable. The down ladder can go to here, but then we're stuck in this room because there's nothing to do here. So we have to leave out for the door, which can only go here. Well, we can go here, which does nothing, or we can go here. So this must be the first move. We go up here. What do we do? Absolutely nothing. Oh, wait, hold on. This probably can't even come up here. It can't even come up here. We can't teleport in that way round. Looks like what looks impossible. Right, we can probably power that door, right? Okay. No longer impossible. We now have a starting point. So now we have a spool. Wonderful. Which we can use. And the one place we can use a spool. It's going to kill us, isn't it? Yep. So we power it up. Feels like we might need to teleport into our room, actually. We can drop a spool. We can grab a spool. We can walk out. And then what? We need to get to this room, but the only way we can anymore is either through this door. Seems a bit untenable. I'm not really sure, but it's not doing much good. It's not doing us much good just sort of standing here, not doing anything, so. The only thing I can think of is to bring it back here somewhere. But we can't use it as a thing. So. We can't undo that door connection. We can only go down through the ladder. Which brings us to this rather useless bit here until we can make this connection. This connection I feel like we have to teleport into. But we have to get into this here, but we can only get into here from here, which we can't go up through a ladder. Unless we can. It might be possible. But this would block up. What? Absolute rubbish, I would say. Maybe that is what we're meant to do, though. Oh, you know what? Drop it there. Yeah, there we go. Now we can climb up into it. Turn off laser. Wonderful. Okay, now we have this left door, which we can use to teleport over here. Open that. We can ladder down into it. Right door out. Teleport into that room. Bada bing, bada boom. Probably. Okay, ladder us into this room. Door. Teleport us into this room. Slowly going there. Putting the pieces together of the directional signs and seeing where they lead. Why would you do that? That's so mean. That's so mean. Why would you do that? Now we have to do it all over again. Okay, I see. We have to... We have to make sure we don't teleport immediately into it. That's so mean. Why would you do that? Like, what's even the point? Just doing mean? Alright, fair enough. I respect it to a certain degree. That literally is just there just to kill you, isn't it? That's actually quite funny. But it's really mean. Where does this even go? So we do this. I come down here. Okay, so we have to make sure, basically, we don't immediately teleport into it. We want to fall into it. I can't believe they would do that. I'm both outraged and thoroughly impressed by how I got by it. You want to do this, and then you want to pop it here, and we want to fall into it. I don't even know what I did. Open that. Where are we trying to go again? Oh, right, yes. Close again. Teleport into here. But going down into here. Now going through the bottom path, which we opened up. Jumping up. This one doesn't matter, because this one's just a wall above us. Take back our spring. Oh, we need to catapult ourselves upwards. If I die again, I'm going to not lose my mind because I have more composure than that, but still. It would just be rather frustrating. Because I think we got it now. I think we've nailed it. We're to do this, and then we want to teleport up into here. Clever. Clever level. Annoyingly clever. Too clever for your own good sort of level. I don't even know what we're connecting up here. Vista. What? How am I meant to get up here? Oh, there's a cube here. Why even bother with that? Why not just put another platform here? That's what confused me a bit. Right, so we need to get the final thing, which seems to be a satellite dish. Not a final thing, but one more thing. What? Oh, I see. Okay. Ah, what an interesting idea for a level. What powers that one? That one? And then, this is a cool idea for a level. Right, we've got to be careful, because we could very easily die here. Let's grab this key first. And think about this. Because doing this would kill us. I need to, like, jump. Do this. No, 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 no. No, hold on. That just makes us fall again. I need to... What do I need to do? I don't think any of these will help us, though. I thought what I would need to do is I would need to, like, jump like this, but this... Ah, so close. I like this part, though. This part's very clever. Wrong one. The bottom part's quite clever. This part's not so clever. But I thought we'd need to grab the... Because we can do this, we won't die. But I can't make it. Oh, we do this, then we disconnect. Oh, I'm so dumb. And then we reconnect. I didn't think about just jumping over. Using that mechanic, huh? Interesting. But that was what I thought Pedestrian would probably be like, puzzle-wise. It's sort of like you had to switch back and forth constantly to actually get it done. I think I kind of want the light, not the light bulb here. I want the satellite dish here. It's powered up though. Okay, well, that's good. It looks like the Game Boy's working. Chiplo, Toplok, Cutio. How much time we got? About 10 minutes. I think if we get to the next chapter select, we'll... If this works, I plan to set sail tonight. I can't forget to grab the supplies. This is like a story being told, except for I don't understand the story. Someone escaping? If this is a train station, I think we'll stop the stream here for today. It's not yet though, so... Guess we go this way. Well, that feels like there should be... Oh no, this is where we started. It feels like there should be more secrets to this. Okay, so let's put this in, and we'll continue this next time. Interesting. That had some of my favourite levels, I think, in it. So we've only got one component left, which is interesting. A fan. But we have 2 slots left on the Game Boy. So I'm not really sure what that means or entails. But I think we did pretty well. And I think we'll... Hopefully it will save our progress thus far. And we'll just sort of round it off here. Email description. Let's not do that. Hold on. Let's put the title screen back. How do I quit? Save and quit. Yes. Fascinating. Cool game, to be honest. I'm surprised at how inventive it is for such what I thought was such a simple mechanic in the end. But there we go. It's been pretty good thus far. We've done... Oh, you know, I closed Clip Studio Paint, but I forgot to make a thumbnail art for the title screen. Sorry, the hold screen, not the title screen. Where is it? Let's see. Open it back up again. Basically a textless one. I don't know. I think we'll do the hold screen can be without border as well, maybe. Yeah, there we go. Put it in here, and then I got to start thinking about what I'm going to be doing for the next month one, which is almost certainly going to be a Halloween themed one. I actually already do have an idea, which is I think a rarity. I think this early, but wait, hold on. Have I been doing these at max resolution? I have been doing these at max resolution. Whoops. No, it's a good thing, but like I mean for the hold screen one. There you go. I need to do it like that. Actually, I should keep Clip Studio Paint open because I need to do the Animal Crossing thumbnail art. It's Sunday. Yeah. There we go. Well, good stuff, everyone. We made some. We nicely finished off a thumbnail art. We're slowly growing our collection of thumbnail arts for DeerDarling. Talked a lot about. I don't even know what I spoke about, but there you go. Chasing more signs around the place. So for now, I think we'll round this episode off. I don't even know if anyone's actually here anymore, but if you have been watching, thank you very much. Hope we can see each other again next week. So until next time, bye bye for now. I'll say stop streaming. Of course, always send my message, even if no one reads it. I still appreciate it all the same. Thank you all for coming. And we'll stop recording with that. Pretty good.